You in just a bit, but I want us to cross over to Parliament, where we have our reporter Zubeida Kananu, who has been on standby at Parliament. And Zubeida, hebu tuelezee, najua ya kwamba mwili wa mwenda zake Rais Moi tayari umefika Parliament, lakini hebu tuelezee what's happening so far. We're expecting that at 8 o'clock the doors are going to open.
Ambao wako hapa kuhakikisha kwamba kila kitu kinaenda taratibu, kila kitu kinaenda shwari. Sasa hivi wanaangalia tu zile mashine ambazo zinatumiwa kufanya ukaguzi wa kiusalama. Kwa hivyo pindi unapofika mahala ambapo Chris Tairu amekuwa akizungumza na wale ambao wamefika pale, utakuwa ukiingilia hapa, unafanywa ukaguzi wa kiusalama kabla ya kuruhusiwa kuingia ndani ya majengo ya bunge kuweza kutazama mwili wa hayati Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, ikiwa ni siku ya 3 na ya mwisho kwa shughuli hii kufanyika. Kwa hivyo endapo hujafika, ningekusihi uje, kwa sababu leo ndio siku ya mwisho. Hapo kesho mwili wake utakapopelekwa katika Nyayo Stadium, tunajua kuwa mwili wake utakuwa kwenye jeneza. Kwa hivyo hautapata fursa nyingine ya kushuhudia mwili wake au kutazama kwa mara ya mwisho kabla ya yeye kulazwa katika safari yake ya mwisho duniani. Lakini mtazamaji, kukuarifu tuna historia fupi kuhusu mahali ambapo tumesimama. Upande wangu wa kulia ndiko alikolazwa rais mwanzilishi wa taifa Jomo Kenyatta. Tunakumbuka kwamba alifariki tarehe 22 mwezi Agosti mwaka 1978 na mwili wake ukalazwa hapa. Wakati huo aliyekuwa makamu wake ni Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi ambaye tunasherehekea sasa, na wakati huo alipoaga alikuwa katika maeneo ya Pwani, ikiwa inaaminika kwamba alifariki katika kaunti ya Kwale au eneo la Kwale wakati huo, na kisha mwili wake ukasafirishwa na kuja hapa nchini jijini Kundradhi, na kisha ukalazwa katika majengo ya bunge na umma kuruhusiwa kuutazama. Tunajua mwaka 1976 kulikuwa na mawimbi ya kisiasa, wengi wakisema kwamba makamu wa rais asimrithi rais mara moja atakapofariki akiwa mamlakani, lakini Charles Njonjo wakati huo akanukuu kipengee cha sheria ambacho kilimwezesha Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi kuweza kuapishwa mara moja kuwa kaimu rais, na hivyo kuongoza shughuli ya mazishi kwa ushirikiano na wanajeshi na baraza lake la mawaziri. Wakafanya kikao ambapo waliamua kuwa kwa heshima ya hayati Jomo Kenyatta Kundradhi kuwa mwanzilishi wa taifa, mwili wake utazikwa hapa mkabala na majengo ya bunge, lakini viongozi wengine watakao kuja baada yake hawatazikwa hapa. Na iliamuliwa baadaye katika miaka ya baadaye kwamba eneo la Uhuru Gardens lililoko barabara ya Lang'ata lingenadhifishwa, lingeboreshwa na kuwa eneo ambako mashujaa wangeweza kuzikwa. Kwa hivyo kwa mujibu wa sheria, japo kwa sasa labda huende kabadilishwa baadaye, iliamuliwa wakati wa Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi kwamba Jomo Kenyatta pekee ndiye angeweza kuzikwa hapa. Na ninapoangalia sasa hivi milango imefunguliwa, naona umma tayari wameanza kuruhusiwa kuingia, wakiwemo viongozi wa kidini. Tunamwona kiongozi huyu. Jambo mkubwa.
Jambo sana.
Habari ya asubuhi.
Habari ya asubuhi mzuri.
Kwa majina yako kamili?
Archbishop Dr. Washington Ogonyongede, Power of Jesus Around the World Church in Kisumu, also chairman of Nyanza Council of Church Leaders, Church and State.
Hebu tueleze nini ambacho kimekufanya uje leo urauke uje utazame mwili wa marehemu?
Marehemu ni rafiki yangu kwa muda nyingi sana. Na ni mtu ambao nimeheshimu na nimempenda kwa kuwa alinisaidia kujenga kanisa ya Kisumu, na yeye mwenyewe pia akaja akafungua kanisa kirasmi.
Ametajwa na wengi kuwa kiongozi ambaye alipenda dini sana. Wewe binafsi uliposhirikiana naye, msukumo wake unaona katika Injili, nini ambacho kilimweka sana awe ndani ya kanisa kwa mtazamo wako?
Yeye mwenyewe alichukua Mungu first, kwa maana bila Mungu hakuna kitu kinaweza kuwa vizuri. Kwa kuwa Biblia inasema ya kwamba katika kitabu cha Mithali 16, chochote ambao unataka fanya uweke mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu, naye kila kitu kitakuwa sawa.
Hebu ni kuruhusu uende ukatazame mwili wa marehemu kwa sababu naona milango imefunguliwa, na kutakia kila laheri katika siku hii. Shukrani sana kwa kuzungumza nasi. Mtazamaji, unavyoona sasa milango imefunguliwa zikiwa ni dakika 15 kabla ya saa 2. Ilitarajiwa kwamba shughuli hiyo ingeanza, lakini wamefanya hima wakamaliza haraka, na kwa hivyo sasa tunaona milango imefunguliwa mapema ili kuwaruhusu wale waliofika hapa kuanzia mwendo wa saa 11 asubuhi. Wengine wamesafiri usiku kucha. Shukrani sana mama. Shukrani sana. Shukrani sana. Na ni wengi ambao walifika mapema wakaja hapa kutazama mwili wa marehemu, na ndio hawa sasa tunaona wanakaguliwa na kuruhusiwa kuingia. Ni eneo ambapo shughuli ya ukaguzi wa kiusalama inafanyika sasa hivi. Unaona kila mmoja anafika kwa hamu sana kutaka kutazama mwili wa marehemu hayati Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, ambaye wengi wamemtaja kuwa kiongozi mkarimu, kiongozi mpenda watu, kiongozi ambaye alijali maslahi ya kila mmoja bila kubagua, bila kuchagua dini, bila kubagua kabila la mtu, bila kumchagua mtu yeyote au kumpendelea yeyote, na alijali kila mmoja. Sasa hivi tunaona kila mmoja anafika hapa na shughuli ya ukaguzi inafanyika. Wanaangaliwa kwa utaratibu mkubwa sana kabla ya kuruhusiwa kuingia ndani. Wazima kwa wakongwe, tunaona wanawake kwa watoto, wote wamekuwa wakifika hapa. Nimeona wanafunzi wengi ambao wamefika, na labda kwa dakika moja hivi nizungumze na mzee ambaye anaingia sasa hivi. Namuona kweli amevaa tai ya chama cha KANU. Mzee, kidogo nizungumze nayo dakika moja kabla haujaingia. Pole sana. Shukrani sana. Majina yako kamili unaitwa nani?
Naitwa Bernard Kabewa Maina kutoka Nyeri.
Umetoka maeneo ya Nyeri, na naona wewe ni mwanachama kweli wa chama cha KANU.
Kabisa, maisha.
Umemjua mstaafu Moi tangu lini?
Nimejua tangu alichukua madaraka, na akasema kitu ya kwanza ni kumaliza pombe. Alimaliza pombe ya Karubu. Ya pili, kwa upande yangu iko na tabu. Watu wetu wa Mazira walisema kiti ya maisha, mbunge wa maisha. Nikaenda Nakuru nikapinga. Nikapinga na nikafuata wafuasi wengi. Lakini mwisho President Moi alinipa kiwanja plot Nairobi. Lakini hiyo nilinyang'anywa na matajiri wengine.
Na ni nini ambacho kilimsababisha yeye kukupatia hiyo shamba?
Hiyo nilikuwa kijana mkamilifu kabisa wa KANU.
Na katika KANU alikuwa kiongozi wa aina gani?
Mimi
rais mstaafu alikuwa kiongozi wa aina gani?
Mimi tulikuwa tunampenda sana, sababu ya ukarimu wake kwa watu, kuokoa watu. Tulimpenda sana.
Na leo umefika kutoka kaunti ya Nyeri kutoa heshima zako?
Zangu za mwisho, na halafu nijulishe watu wengine vile nilinyang'anywa hiyo plot. Huyu ni mtu tajiri, alitumia nguvu akaninyang'anya.
Na tutakuwa tukikufuatilia baadaye mzee wangu, tuone ni vipi tunaweza kuzungumza zaidi, na kuruhusu sasa hivi uende ukaone mzee Moi. Asante sana. Ni mmoja wa wale ambao wamefika hapa kutoa heshima za mwisho, akisema amefanya kazi na mstaafu Moi kwa miaka mingi, na unaona watu ni wengi, foleni ni ndefu, maelfu ya watu wamefika kuweza kutazama mwili wa marehemu, kwa kuwa alikuwa mpenda watu, kiongozi ambaye alipenda kila mmoja bila kubagua, bila kuchagua, alipendelea bila kujali dini, bila kujali kabila. Na tumeona watu wanafika kutoka kaunti za mbali, kunao wametoka Busia, Siaya, Kakamega, maeneo ya magharibi, maeneo ya mashariki, maeneo ya kaskazini, maeneo ya kusini. Wote wamefika hapa. Pia tunaona wanafunzi wa shule wamefika na pia wanataka kutazama mwili wa mstaafu Moi, hayati Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, ambaye ni rais wa pili wa taifa. Kila mmoja anataka kutazama na kushuhudia mwenyewe. Wachanga ambao tunawaona hawajawahi kumuona akiwa mamlakani, labda sasa hivi wanaingia ili waweze kuingia ama kujua historia. Pale shuleni huenda katika miaka ya kesho wakafanya mitihani kumhusu Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, labda watakuwa wakiwasimulia wenzao kwamba tulifika na tukamuona kiongozi huyu ambaye alikuwa mpenda watu. Hujambo mama?
Hujambo.
Majina yako kamili nani?
My name is Anboro.
Ulifika hapa saa ngapi, kutoka maeneo gani?
Nilifika kitu saa 2 kama imekaribia hivi. Yeah.
Na nini ambacho kilikufanya ukaamka kuja kutazama mwili wa marehemu?
Okay, nilikuwa namkumbuka mimi nikiwa mtoto mdogo wakati alikuwa anatupatia maziwa. Kwa hivyo nilikuwa natarajia leo nikuje nimuone. Agarau nimjue the last time.
Naam, asante sana mama, na kuruhusu uingie. Hujambo mama?
Si jambo labda yako.
Salama sana. Majina yako kamili ni nani?
Majina yangu ni Christine Nafula. Ndio.
Umetoka maeneo gani ya Kenya?
Nimetoka Western Bungoma.
Yeah. Umesafiri kuja hapa?
Sijasafiri, ni mkaaji wa hapa South B.
Nini ambacho kimekusababisha wewe ukarauka mapema hivi kuja kutazama mwili wa marehemu?
Namkumbuka mstaafu ambaye sasa ni marehemu, ni president ambaye nilimuelewa na nilimfahamu vizuri kwa uongozi wake, na alikuwa anahudumia wananchi kwa ujumla. Yani hayo tu.
Shukran sana mami. Niangalie upande huu mwingine. Hujambo? Unaogopa? Haya, naona kunao kweli wanataka kuzungumza. Haya, hujambo?
Sijambo.
Majina yako kamili nani? Umetoka sehemu gani ya nchi?
Naitwa Evelyn Nyabira, nimetoka Nairobi County. Nimekuja kuomboleza pamoja na Wakenya wenzangu.
Naam.
Yes.
Kwa nini ambacho kimekurausha uje hapa kutazama mwili wa marehemu?
Nakumbuka nikiwa mdogo tulikuwa tunakunywa maziwa kule shuleni. Ndio imenifanya nikuje niomboleze pamoja.
Asante sana. Mwenzako unataka kumsema jambo, unaogopa? Unamjua mstaafu Moi?
Nina amani tu.
Asante sana. Majina kamili ni nani?
Ni Janet Ayafi.
Kutoka sehemu gani ya nchi?
Sehemu ya Kakamega.
Nini ambacho kimekufanya ukarauka mapema leo kuja kutazama mwili wa marehemu?
Nakumbuka Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi alitusaidia tukiwa shuleni, tulikunywa maziwa ya Nyayo. Tulikula kidheri lunch. Tunamshukuru sana.
Asante sana. Na ni foleni ambayo inazidi kupanuka, mtazamaji. Maelfu ya watu, kufikia jana zaidi ya watu 100,000 walikuwa wamefika kutazama mwili wa marehemu, na leo basi ikiwa ni siku ya mwisho, tunatarajia kwamba idadi itaongezeka hata zaidi. Sasa hivi kinachoendelea ni shughuli ya kukagua na kufanya shughuli za kiusalama kabla ya kuruhusu yeyote kuingia, na tuko hapa tutazidi kufuatilia wale ambao wanafika katika kutazama mwili wa marehemu, ikiwa ni siku ya 3 na ya mwisho. Hapo kesho maombi ya pamoja itafanyika katika uga wa Nyayo. Tunatarajia viongozi mbalimbali kuja hapa. Tunatarajia zaidi ya marais 10 kuja kushuhudia mazishi ya hayati Daniel Arap Moi, wakiwemo viongozi na marais kutoka ukanda wa Afrika Mashariki. Na si hapa, tuko hapa kuangazia na kukuarifu na kinachoendelea. Lakini sasa Mike, na kurejesha kwako utuarifu na mengine. Jeff Kirui yuko upande mwingine, na Chris Dairu tuko pamoja nao hapa, na kurejesha kwako utuelekeze mahala pengine Mike.
Kananu, they are giving us a good overview of what's happening at Parliament. As you can see, Kenyans have come out in huge numbers, just as they did yesterday and on Saturday, to view the body of the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi as it lays in state for the last day today. Today being the last day, the Kenyans are going to be given that opportunity to view the body of the late president. But in studio with me, in case you're joining us now, we have Canon Ambrose Weda and Honorable Joe Mtambo as we continue to remember the life and times of Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Weda, one of the things that obviously comes out of majority of what people say, ni hiyo maziwa ya Nyayo, and it may have looked like a very small thing, but look at the impact. Many years, over 18, actually 20 years after that happened, it seems that that's what people still remember to this day.
That milk was very sweet. That's fast, granted. Very sweet, given twice a week, and given to every child across the country. It was something monumental.
Absolutely. And of course, yes, to also mention that the reason that it was given was to ensure that children at least had a decent meal and were able to go to class.
I remember some of us were carrying potatoes, a bit of sugar, and you go and that, and you had a decent meal. So it was very good. I think it was innovative, it was good, it was great. And after that, we have never had any other milk. So we remember him for that. And it was there for a very long time, delivered in good time. But allow me, there's something that my brother is pushing me. I didn't want to say, I didn't want to dwell on anything negative. But it is not that people pushed themselves for Moi to detain them. After the August 1st coup in 1982, I think the president his regime moved to being fairly very repressive. More people were detained, things became a bit difficult, and the special branch were all over. And the KANU became extremely powerful, the one that youth wing. It was they were more powerful than the police. And therefore, it required a considerable mass of people to actually stand their ground and ensure that things stayed. That is how Section 2A was repealed. It was not repealed because Moi loved us and he loved the Kenyans. He was indeed forced. And after the 1992 elections, again, the real Moi came back. He was now more people-friendly. He brought people closer to him, and he was able to win more now out of love than earlier when we had the 1988 elections where the shortest queue would win. Some people were prevented from running. So, my brother, it is not that people, we created the space because some of you are so close to Baba Moi, who had been earlier very good. I think you people incited him, and he receded to dictatorship. Then we came in and pushed him back. Then he became the real one. So by the time he was leaving power, he left power. Kenya was fairly united. He was fairly a good president. And that's why we remember him well. A good man was forced by people around him to turn bad, but then also others pushed him, but he became good. And he left a united country. And he left power. We wish he would have, before he died, he would have called some neighboring presidents, and they had a chat and a tea, and he says, my brother, there should come a time when
where you
leave
can
so that other people can come in. That's the only legacy he has not left for us. What I feel very sad President Moi has not done, and Kibaki should not do it, and Njonjo should not do it, and Raila should not do it, he has not left us with a book, a memoir that he has written that reveals the intricacies of how some of these things. He has died with a rich history of this country. Let me just hope that some papers were jotted down so that people like Gideon and Jonathan and the others and everybody should be able to bring out this. It is the legacy of this country. He has rich history. And that goes to President Kibaki. He should not go to his grave with these secrets. We learn from them. I would like the young Kenyans as a group, please learn the way Moi managed time, and the way he was orderly, and the way he was neat. He was not the kind of president who would pick the nearest shirt. Attire. It was a deliberate thing. And you look across, you look at Trump, you look at Obama, you look at who. It is not my dress, my choice. You dress according to the way you want to be addressed and where you are going. And the words are calculated. There's so much we need to learn from President Moi that it is not time to dwell about a few things. If Raila could forgive Moi, who are you? You are just slapped by a local youth wing, and you want to make so much noise about it, yet Raila was detained for 9 years. They worked together.
Honorable Mtambo, maybe just going back to the kind of person Moi was and that discipline that we have consistently had being told. I'll tell you this from the media perspective. One of the biggest nightmares we have is dealing with government officials because they rarely keep time. But that was not Moi. If Moi said he was meeting you at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., which is when I hear his meetings will start, and maybe you'll fill us in on that, he would meet you at exactly that time. Another thing, of course, we cannot ignore is how impeccable a dresser he was. Maybe this was from the rich history of him being a teacher. I don't know if that still is the case, looking at where he was coming from as a background.
I think this discipline within Moi was a gift. Some things are like gift. We can say that leaders must be punctual, punctuality is important, but some, they will still come late. But Moi, if he tells you it's 12, it's 1, you have to be there some few minutes too, because he will get there before that time. So it is something which he was gifted to, and it was kind of a discipline he installed upon himself. And we can all emulate him and do what the president did. I can tell you my first meeting, I was almost getting late with 5 minutes, and being a Mukamba, when I was told it is 7 o'clock in the morning, I thought the president cannot be up by that.
By 7.
We reached there with and he was almost, we were finding him trying to wake up to go, and told us, you know, you guys, I told you 7, what is the time now? He was almost leaving. So that is the kind of thing we really want. And if you are disciplined, not only keeping time, you will also be disciplined in keeping what is right, doing what is right, because you will be able to differentiate right and wrong, and you will not want to be on the side of the wrong. And that kind of discipline is what he installed to everyone. That's why you saw his government everybody was towing the line. There was nobody who was singing a different song and somebody saying, today you hear minister fighting against the other minister, giving contradictory stories, confusing Kenyans, coming up with different legislation. This one is proposing this, that one is proposing that, and then it becomes totally ungovernable. To me, I think if we could emulate what President Moi did, this country could be a safe haven for Kenyans and even for other people. I want to take you, and I want to take my good friend back to the times of Moi. If Moi was not that strong, maybe this country would not be where it is today. It could have been good. And I remember when you started talking, he said, the leaders, I mean, the other countries are telling us, you guys who are making noise, come and see what is happening in Uganda. See, when Museveni was being overthrown, I was a grown-up person and I knew what was happening there. I've witnessed what went on in Juba. I was in Juba when they were fighting. And go across our neighbors. No country which has never tested the wrath of military or overthrowing a government. Here they tried once and it has never happened again because Moi stood firm. Had he not done that, maybe after every 5 years or 2 years or 3 years, or this Mutabo will be coming with his Jeshi la Wazee and he says, I want to overthrow the government. Trying to overthrow the government is disorganizing the citizen. It is the people of that country who suffers most, not actually the president who is sitting there. The people who died during 1982 attempted coup, it was not the president. The president never died. He still continued. And he had to change and say, you know what, maybe I allowed people near me who came and tried to overthrow me. This time around, I'm not going to do that. And maybe that's what Abros don't like. I want to remind him that even Satan was sitting with God somewhere in heaven until he was kicked and he was told, you know what? No. So it is those people who are with you, actually, who come to backstab you. It is the leaders who used to be with those who say I was detained. Follow their history. You will find out that they were with the president and then somehow they disagreed over one or two things. And when you disagree with somebody, don't just show your anchor. Be calm, wait for your time to come. People should learn to be patient. And Abraham told us that learn to be patient. Once you learn to be patient, things will go on smoothly. I remember DP Ruto once telling us that he want to learn like Moi. He stayed behind Kenyatta, pole namna hii. But I am wondering now, why are we having all this tanga here, I don't know, keleweke there. We should learn to understand this is our country and whatever we are doing, our country should come number one. Number one, everything I do today, I do for the love of my nation. It's not because of me. If it was about me, I could be throwing tantrums everywhere. No, everybody knows Mutambu, where I was during last elections and what happened thereafter. And I'm still quiet and calm, and I'm saying I'm going to remain calm, loyal. Loyalty is not something that I said can be bought. Kenyans need to be loyal to their leaders, and then things will move on smoothly and we'll enjoy peace in this country.
In this country. All right, and what we see on your screens, on the right side of the screen there, is what's happening in Parliament as the body of the late president lies in state for the last day. Today being the last day that all and sundry are going to be allowed to view this particular body, and that's the cues that have been there. We spoke through Chris Thairo and Zubeida to some Kenyans, and some of them were there as early as 5 a.m. to ensure that they get an opportunity to view the body of the late President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. The proposed program is tomorrow. There's going to be the memorial service that's going to be happening at Nyayo National Stadium, but there will be no viewing at the stadium. The funeral is actually going to take place on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the holiday for Kenya, and this is, of course, as we continue with the days of mourning that were given through a declaration by the President of the Republic Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And this continues until the evening of the day that he's going to be laid to rest. So that's Wednesday. And flags are flying at half-mast and are going to continue flying at half-mast until then. So what you see are just the Kenyans that have made their way to Parliament buildings where the body of the late president is lying in state and is going to continue lying in state for the rest of the day till around 4:35 p.m. where they're going to close doors and then again prepare the body to take it to the Lee Funeral Home where it will be, rest until tomorrow where we're going to have the funeral service. Coming to you, Weda, the former president Daniel Arap Moi called himself a political professor. And I remember at the time where he called Uhuru Kenyatta one time to stand up, and he mentioned that this is the person who I want to take over. And at that time, and the reason why I'm bringing in the question of political professor, at that time it was almost unthinkable that Uhuru Kenyatta can actually be president because he was not even that active in politics at that time, and he was not well known to be one who was a politician. But here we are today, and he is the current president. Would you agree then that Moi was actually indeed a political professor?
Oh yes, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga in his book, Not Yet Uhuru, he described him as a giraffe. The long neck, he could see very far and run very fast. If you look at President Moi's political career, it is about seeing very far and running very fast. And how does a giraffe behave? It moves slowly. It is never jumpy, running up. So Jaramogi got it. And if you look at the career, it has been based on seeing far, moving very fast, and moving slowly. If you looked at President Uhuru, then you could see age was on his side. President Moi could see that. Number two, he was coming from a highly populous crowd, community. Number three, he was coming from a family with a name. You didn't have to introduce him further. Number four, there were resources. So Moi knew all this and said, for you to be president, if you are going to go through elections, you'll need money, you'll need a name, you'll need a voting block that you start with. And then you need time. And then he could see the rest and realize that these ones, most of them are very old. If you give them 10 years, they'll be gone. Just like now, most people who are powerful, another 10 years, they'll be quiet. So he could see this is hindsight, this is not. So he was indeed a professor. And the way he managed the people, you see, after multi-party came, he abandoned authoritarianism and they went now into tact. And this tact, the first area you saw his tact was the original Ford. He was a member of Ford, big, powerful. He was going to sweep. He was going to sweep him out of power in 1 minute. What did he do? Propped up Jaramogi on this side, then propped up Matiba, and then they started fighting. They fought and fought, Mutithi, Ajib House. Then Moi came and said, we can register 2 factions. We can register 2 of them. So there was Ford Asili and Ford Kenya. Eventually, he comes in, he knows now if Matiba takes these people, Kibaki takes a bit of it, Jaramogi takes the Luos and the Luyas, all the remaining communities, I will win. That's exactly what happened. That was a strategy. And then also, whereas these other guys were going through, he was fairly generous. We have problems as individuals. So you could go around and then you hear somebody announcing, I have defected back to Kanu. A story is told, I'm told, when they had issues with Nyachai. That's a story we had. But when I was going for election, one time I told that he flew to Nyachai's home in Kisii, went with the mother to the wife, and the elder wife is the one who was calling Nyachai and saying, Mzee is here, where are you? So Nyachai comes in, comes in and he says, me, there's nowhere I'm going. If you leave me, where do I go? So the whole family is saying, Bwana Nyachai, you must go on with Moi. Tact. He became tactical, he became peaceful, he became persuasive, he became very nice. And then even when the Luo community, the Luya community, the Kikuyu community, he still had his big wigs
in there
with money bags also. So it was confusion. I can therefore say he was indeed a professor.
A political professor. Honorable Mtambo, you started your political career in KANU, and you were a leader in KANU, and of course had a lot to learn from Moi. What lessons would you draw and say that have kept you afloat as a politician that you've learned and taken from Moi?
What Bruce is not saying that Moi was rewarding, very rewarding. Moi would never forget his people. And I think that is what I've learned from Moi. Moi would never, if you really worked for Moi, Moi would never leave you behind in one way or the other. Not like today. You hear people are working so hard to put the government in place, and then after handshake, those who worked, they're outside. Those who never worked, actually, those who are insulting more, those who are shouting more are the ones who are now having the position. And those who fought, who literally actually lost their seat or who sacrificed, they are out there in the cold and they are crying because they are my colleagues. We talk every day. I know what is happening in our country. There are so many people out there who are bitter because they sacrificed. And you wonder, is it really worth to support somebody if you know tomorrow I'll be thrown in the court? Moi never forgot his people. If you really worked for Moi, Moi would be there for you, whether directly or indirectly. That's why you hear the stories of I was given a couple in a Moi. Even if you make him happy, even if Itimbi, they were given something, and it was not wrong. The president had power to allocate land to Kenyans because the land belongs to the government. And people are saying it is being corrupt. It is not being corrupt. You never paid Moi nothing to give you that land. So what corruption is there? If the law allows the president to give you a piece of land and you don't give him money to do so, he has given it to you for free. What corruption is there? It's within the law. It was within the law. So Moi was like that. And I can tell you there are so many people who will give you testimony. All these rich people you see in the city today, those who worked for KANU, those who stood with the KANU, all these people, if you tell them to return the land because they never bought, you will see so many demolition in this country because people got those land courtesy of President Moi. And that is what I remember about Moi. He would balance the regions. Moi would not form a government without balancing the region. You'll pick one here, one there, and you look at the government. If it is the ministers, you'll make sure that every region is well represented. Not like today where we have some regions where, although the positions are not many, but he would make sure that within the 8 regions, he has picked somebody who will be a voice of that region. And that is also one thing which you need to consolidate if you really want to rule a country in a better way to be remembered. I can tell you there are people who, if they die today, you will not see so many people coming to watch, to pay respect the way we are seeing it's happening to Moi. And that's why I was wondering why people making noise, Ulabalu there, Moi was a bad dictator, was this or that. You would not want to go and pay homage to dictator. Kenyans are showing by their attendance to paying of respect to Moi. They are showing how Moi was lovable, how Moi was good. And I'm wondering why this Olabalu. Coming back to learning from Moi, if we could lead or could rule like Moi, this country could be better. Sometimes, let me tell you this, people, I may not become popular because I'm going to say it. Africa needs somebody like Moi. Somebody who can say no, it is no. It is a yes, it is a yes. You don't have to do this, you don't have to do this. It doesn't matter what you know. You have to follow the law. If we follow the law to the latter, the country will remain. Let me, Ambrose would check because
I see him shaking his head in disagreement.
Because these are the people who don't obey the laws, you know, and they are the one and he's a lawyer. Because I'm saying following the law to the latter, the law we have. We've made it, we have accepted it, this is the law we have, let us follow it. If we don't follow it, things will go away in whichever organization it is.
Whether you're...
don't follow the law. It depends with which law. There was a law of Section 2A which only allowed one party, and then in that one party you are expelled from it.
When it was there, it used to work.
You'll expel. So it depends. Some laws have to be changed, some have to be removed. You don't have to be a dictator. I think Moi was good, but let's also accept that he missed the economic part of it. So we were peaceful, we were having milk, but as growing as an economy, we didn't. Why do I say so? Kibaki came in for 10 years, and he was good in economy, and you saw how far we went. But he was poor in national cohesion, and we beat each other along the way. So somehow, for the foundation, the President Moi got it right in national cohesion, but had he tinkered it with some knowledge of economy, ability to grow the economy and to move, we would be very far, because we started with Singapore together. But he also allowed, let's accept, the plunder of national resources. Some of you are saying he had the right to give this, he had the right to give that. We gave out almost everything, and people grabbed it too much. So that we must say, so that new leaders, when they come in, they know we will not love that. But all in all, it is not good to dwell on the very bad things that may have happened. It is good to see the light. And that light would be our children. When they see Moi, they should know, what do we emulate? Take, for instance, President Moi's love for education. Education was almost free. Now we say it is free, but it's not that free. That time it was not free, but it was free. You would go to secondary school, you carry your books. Now you have to have a long list. It's a long list. Bring this, bring that, bring that. Education was free. There were enough teachers. Things were working within that economy. And this is because we had stability. If you look at a country like Somalia, Uganda, and all these regional countries, then that is why we say it was good that we had Moi.
Absolutely. Well, and what you can see on your screen is Kenyans as they continue to view the body of the late president as he lies in state. Shortly, we are also going to be looking at his love for sports and his contribution towards sports. We do know that he was one that loved sports. I remember a few pictures that we've seen where he was playing football and ensuring that sports was going on. So that's going to be coming up. So, Honorable Mtambo, as we wind up, maybe just your closing remarks as we remember the life and times of Moi and some of the things that we take home from the leadership of Moi.
You see, you're talking about sports, and I remember when I was the manager for Mathare United. You know, I'm the one who started these slum activities in Mathare. I've been there, I've been football and administrator. Moi never used to miss. You remember there was this Moi Golden Cup. He never missed the finals. He was always there. And it was so good. Young people were motivated, and that is the time we had the good talent in Kenya, and our football was doing very well. Unlike today, where you hardly see any leader in sports field unless there is a political thing. It's when you see them, and which is very wrong. So Moi actually used to leave a stock, and Moi knew the country well. And there's one thing I would want to urge Kenyans to do. If you really want to run this country, go and look at the Moi's manifesto and read it. I got a chance to go through the Moi's manifesto. And anything we talk about today, it was in Moi's manifesto. Think of anything, industry, farming, education. Ambrose was talking about education here. And I remember Moi was also coming up with a proposal that even private schools, they should be controlled. Today, there are schools which are private schools, they are charging $1 million for a child. That is, I don't know. These are Kenyan children. It doesn't matter whether you come from a poor or rich father, you deserve the same education. There are schools which are charging so high that parents cannot take children to those schools. And once you've been given a license to operate a school, then that becomes a public utility, and the people must get a right to take their children to that school, and it has to be regulated in a way that that school, whether private or no private, children or people should get a chance to take their children there, because it is within their locality. There are schools which are being somewhere in a mall or somewhere, and it's somewhere in the middle of the street, but the people who live there, they cannot afford to bring their child there. They are taken there by choppers and helicopters, and they are being charged so high. I want to believe once a school has been established somewhere, it should be for the benefit of those people who are within the community. The community. countries who are there. They should also benefit from that.
All right.
So I remember Moi was coming up with so good manifesto which could have governed this country. And if leaders actually adopt that, we would have no issues.
We'll go very far.
Yes.
Ambrose, as you wind up.
Thank you. I think let me appeal to the Moi family, especially Gideon and the brother. If President Moi did not leave a manuscript of a true account of his leadership, true account, not where people come and put lies, please commission somebody to write a book. You owe it to this country, owes it to this country, we owe it to our children and grandchildren. The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance to his grandchildren. We owe it to them. Number two, fellow Kenyans, especially the young, the middle class, the middle ages, learn discipline and the use of time and order from the life of President Moi. And above all, let us carry from him his level of compassion. That is what is called generally love, but compassion. The pain of others touches your heart and you are able to do something that alleviates this pain. Let's learn that. Order, discipline, compassion. It will change your life. We stop complaining and whining and blaming people and blaming others. We get into the job. And above all, patience. Good things grow. They are not just instant coffee. They grow. You go to school, you grow, you sit there patiently as you work, and then you become a big tree. These are lessons we learn from President Moi, and we thank him as he fares until we meet in eternal glory. I thank God that he died knowing our Lord Jesus Christ, so when the King of Kings will come back, he will rise, and we'll rise with him. If you do not have him, you rise, but you will go to eternal fire. Shauri yako, we have told you, na unajua.
Thank you very much, Canon Ambrose Weather there. Also getting an opportunity to preach and ensure that that message gets across. Honorable Joe Mtambo, thank you for joining us this morning. And of course, as we continue to eulogize and remember the life and times of the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, we now are seeing